All right, like I said, we're on page P11 in the textbook. And again, it's going to be the same format as yesterday. I'm going to do some example problems. I'm going to give you some practice problems to do. And then there will be a electronic assignment related to those problems. And as a reminder, your posters are due August 22nd. Please don't wait till the last minute to turn those in. Please don't wait till the last minute to turn those in. So on page P11, we are going to be working with linear equations today. And example 1 up there has 3 different examples, so we're going to do all of those. So example 1A, we've got x minus, let's see, you're asked to solve. So solve each equation. All right, first we got x minus 7 equals 16. We're going to try to isolate the variable here first. And if the equation is subtracting 7 from x, then we're going to add 7 to each side of the equation. So on the left-hand side of the equation, the x falls down, the 7's cancel out.
Sorry, I'm late.
The equal sign falls down, and 16 plus 7 is 23. All right, so here's your solution. If you want to check your solution, you take it and you substitute it back in for the variable. So does 23 minus 7 equal 16? Yes, it does. So your answer is correct. Example B, we've got m plus 12. That's equal to negative 5. In this case, the variable's it has 12 being added to it. So we're going to subtract 12 from each side. The m falls down, the 12's cancel, the equal sign falls down, and then in your calculator, it's just negative 5 minus 12. And negative 5 minus 12 is negative 17. And then I'm not going to check every one of these solutions, but you guys hopefully know how to check each solution. You take the 17, this negative 17, you substitute it for the m. So you type negative 17 plus 12 and hit equals on your calculator. And if it says negative 5, then your solution is correct. And example C, you got k plus 31 equals 10. Again, we're adding to the variable, so to get this positive 31 to the other side of the equal sign, we're going to subtract 31 from each side. So the k falls down, the 31's cancel, and 10 minus 31, negative 21. All right, so those are fairly straightforward equations where you're just adding or subtracting based on what is being done to the variable. You're always going to do the opposite of what's being done to the variable. So if the variable's being added to, then you're going to subtract from each side. If the variable's being subtracted from, then you're going to add to each side. All right, so in example 2, right below that, we got example 2a. Now we're going to deal with multiplication and division. So in this equation, we have 4d is equal to 36. All right, so we're trying to get this variable by itself. If it's being multiplied by 4, if the variable is being multiplied by 4, we do the opposite operation. So we divide both sides by 4. When 4d is divided by 4, the 4's cancel, and the d falls down. And then 36 divided by 4, that's 9. Example 2b. Now we've got a negative, and it's t over 8 equal to negative 7. What's going on here is that t is being divided by 8. All right? And we also need to get this negative sign off of the left-hand side of the equation where the variable is. So what's the opposite of division? Good. So we're going to multiply both sides by negative 8. And when we multiply the left side by negative 8, these two negative 8's cancel out. And the t falls down. And then it's a calculator function. So negative 7 times negative 8. Negative times a negative is a positive, right? So we get a positive 56. Example 2c. 3/5 x equal to negative 8. There's two ways you can do this problem. I'm going to show you both ways. What we have right now is 3/5 times x equal to negative 8. Well, up here we had 4 times d equal to 36, and we divided by 4. If you've got a calculator and you know how to use the fraction button, you can divide both sides by 3/5. The 3/5 on the left side cancel, the x falls down, and it's equal to negative 8 divided by 3/5. And I get negative 13 and 1/3. Now, if you have a TI-30 XA calculator, right to the left of the number 1 button, there's a button that looks like this. I call it the fraction button. So when you take negative 8 and you divide it by 3/5, in the calculator you type 8 negative divided by, this button becomes the line in the fraction. So if you push 3 fraction button 5 and hit equals, it'll show 3/5 on your calculator like this. 3, and it's got this little symbol, fifths. That on the calculator means this. Okay? You type 3, you type ABC, type 5, puts 3/5 in the calculator. And then if you hit equals, what comes out is -13, an underscore, and then a 1, this symbol again, and a 3. That's what it looks like on the display screen. This is what it means. It means -13 and 1/3. Now, depending on how you were taught to solve these problems where the variable is being multiplied by a fraction, the second way you can do this, if 3/5 x is equal to -8, oh boy, I messed that up. 3/5 x equals -8. Dividing by 3/5 produces the same result as multiplying by 5/3. Anytime you multiply a fraction by its reciprocal, the product is 1. So if you multiply the left-hand side of this equation by 5/3, you multiply the right side of the equation by 5/3. And by rule, 5/3 times 3/5 is equal to 1. These 5's cancel out diagonally, the 3's cancel out diagonally, and the x falls down. Now go back to your calculator and type your 8 negative times 5 fraction button 3 and hit equals, and we get -13 and 1/3 again. So you can solve that equation either way. You can divide by the fraction in front of the variable, or you can multiply both sides by the reciprocal of the fraction in front of the variable. All right, does anybody have any questions on those examples? All right, then here's your practice for today. Your practice is going to be on page P12. And I'd like you to do problems 1 through 15. Page P12, problems 1 through 15. That's your practice. And then be sure to check focus. For an electronic assignment. And complete your poster.